A lot of people have lived on this earth, mostly just ordinary humans, but once in a while an oddball comes along. Today we've compiled a list of some of the most amazing as well as some of the most odd people who have walked this earth. Before we dive into this video, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to our channel if you're new. At number 10, Wolf Messing. Wolf Messing was born in the Polish town of Góra Kalwaria in 1899, some 25 kilometers southeast of Warsaw. Wolf claimed to be a psychic as a teenager. Based on mental telepathy and body language cues, he could change people's views and anticipate future consequences. How true is that? Keep watching to find out. During his demonstrations, Wolf would get into a trance and try to detect concealed objects. He got famous following World War II after performing in front of enormous crowds. He aroused the interest of Albert Einstein and Sigmund Freud. Wolf Messing stated in 1937 that if Adolf Hitler ever threatened Russia and moved toward the east, he would die. The statement enraged Hitler, prompting Wolf to escape to Russia and continue his performances. According to the account, Wolf was then ordered to demonstrate his psychic skill to Stalin by convincing a bank teller to hand him cash using only a blank piece of paper. And to the surprise of everyone, he actually convinced the bank teller. He eventually became a KGB teacher after the successful presentation. At number 9, Adam Raynor. Adam Raynor was medically evaluated at the age of 19 and found to be abnormally short for his age. His stature was estimated to be at 1.4 meters or 4 feet 8 inches. According to another source, he was only 1.18 meters or 3 feet 10.5 inches tall at the age of 21. Raynor was thin, feeble, and displayed signs of dwarfism at the time. Despite his small stature, he had enormous feet. He began to undergo a rapid growth boom around 1920. His arms, legs, hands, and feet grew to enormous proportions, and his health deteriorated. Raynor's vision started to fail, making it difficult for him to eat and walk. Adam Raynor stood at 2 meters or 6 feet 9 inches tall by 1930. It had been suggested that he had a tumor in his pituitary gland, which caused an overproduction of growth hormone. He exhibited acromegaly, which is defined by a bulging forehead and jaw, as well as bigger lips. It is believed that he underwent surgery to remove the tumor in the early 1930s, but the procedure did not stop the tumor's growth. Raynor eventually became sick and died in 1950 at the height of 2.34 meters, or 7.8 feet. Raynor has been named the most variable structure in the history by the Guinness Book of World Records. According to the entry, he was the only person who was both a dwarf and a giant. At number 8, Raymond Lee Harvey. On the 5th of May, 1979, the Secret Service arrested Raymond Lee Harvey for concealing a loaded gun just 10 minutes before President Jimmy Carter was scheduled to attend a speech in Los Angeles. Harvey was apprehended about 50 feet from where Carter was to speak. After being questioned by authorities, he admitted to being a member of the four-man scheme to assassinate the president. In the attack, his duty was to shoot into the air while another assassin killed Carter. Harvey plotted with a 21-year-old man named Osvaldo Espinoza Ortiz, who was later apprehended by authorities. Ortiz confessed to being with Harvey but denied any involvement in a plot to assassinate the president. The coincidence has sparked a slew of conspiracy theories alleging that the assassination attempt was staged to intimidate the Carter administration. At number 7, Karl Kocher. Karl Kocher was born in the former Czechoslovakia in 1934. He joined the Czech intelligence organization at the age of 28, traveled to the United States in the mid-1960s, and earned a doctorate in philosophy from Columbia University. Kocher then joined the CIA and became a spy for the Soviet Union. Today, he remains one of the small group of Soviet spies who infiltrated the CIA on behalf of the Soviet Union. A significant amount of information about his life has never been revealed to anyone. He was basically a ghost while he was alive. At number 6, Michael Lotito. A human who can eat everything. Michael Lotito is someone most people are aware of. This Hungarian-born man has set records many a time, and deservingly so. He can eat metal, rubber, and just about anything and still survive. He's not only eaten cars and cycles, but an entire aircraft. Despite having such a strange diet, he has never fallen seriously ill. This perhaps is because of the fact that his intestine line is such that it can resist any type of poisoning from any kind of food. Well, if they can be called food at all. At number 5, Arnold Paoli. People in southern Europe began to believe in vampires in the early 18th century. They were viewed as a huge social problem, particularly in Transylvania. People began digging up graves and staking dead bodies suspected of being vampires. Some people claimed to have seen their deceased relatives strolling the streets and attacking living people. The alarm spread throughout Europe, and numerous journals speculated on what was happening. Peter Plagojewicz and Arnold Paoli are two of the most well-known vampires from this period. Arnold Paoli died in the village of Medwegna, near the Morava River in 1726, and people began seeing his zombie body immediately after his death. The situation in Serbia sparked fear, and officials sought the assistance of two Austrian military doctors, Glaser and Flukinger. Flukinger's inquiry and report were titled Visum e Repertum, meaning seen and confirmed, and the report confirmed the existence of vampires. According to the findings, Arnold Paoli's body was responsible for the deaths of 4 people. His body was discovered whole and undecayed, with fresh blood from his eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. This led to the conclusion that Paoli was a vampire. At number 4, Lal Bihari. This was the man who had fought for 19 years to prove he was still alive. Though this appears to have been the plot of a horror film, it's something that a real person has experienced. Bihari was born in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. He went to apply for a loan one day and discovered that the government of India had proclaimed him dead a long time ago. This was the outcome of an evil uncle's plot, and Lal Bihari was forced to fight court battles only to show that he was not dead. At number 3, Cathy Jung, the world's smallest waist. Odd people frequently try to make sure that they have some unusual characteristics that help them stand out in a crowd. They usually win some kind of record-breaking competition, which they deserve most times. Cathy Jung, recognized for having the world's smallest waist, is one such person who deserves special recognition. If you're wondering just how small this little waist is, you'll be astonished to learn that it's 15 inches. You heard that right. While you were working hard to get closer to even 24 inches, someone managed to outrun you and reach 15. At number 2, Sidney Gottlieb. Visionary chemist Sidney was involved in the planning of Operation Midnight Climax, a program in which the CIA purchased homes in San Francisco, Marin, and New York in order to spy on people. The CIA hired a huge number of prostitutes for the research, who brought participants back to a residence, sedated them, and then had intercourse, as Sidney and others watched from behind two-way mirrors. Sexual blackmail, monitoring, and mind-altering substances were among the questionable findings of the studies. Sidney, regarded as the prisoner-in-chief, was also part of the Cuban Project, where he researched plans to poison world leaders. He was also a part of the Phoenix program, in which the United States conducted mind control experiments on the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War. He was involved in America's effort to assassinate Congo's Prime Minister, Patrice Lumumba, in 1960. Throughout his life, he was involved in a number of top-secret missions. Some even believe he is a myth. And at number 1, Lord Timothy Dexter. Lord Timothy Dexter was not a lord, but rather an unskilled leather artisan born near Boston in 1748. He bestowed the title on himself to fit with the aristocracy after marrying a wealthy widow and relocating to an affluent area. Throughout his life, he took bizarre and dumb decisions in order to build a name for himself and enhance his money, and yet he was strangely successful. The Continental Dollar, America's first form of paper money, failed to acquire public trust in the late 1700s. Therefore, many rich people attempted to help out by purchasing some of the bills from the public. Seeing it as an opportunity to get respect, Dexter spent all of his and his wife's money on the now defunct dollars and purchased boatloads of bills. Surprisingly, the U.S. Constitution was passed near the end of the 18th century, and it was established that the bills might be exchanged for treasury bills at 1% of face value. He became super wealthy instantly. He also faked his own death and hosted a grand funeral just to see how people would react. Then he caned his wife for not crying. That's crazy. And with that, we end today's video. Which of these odd humans do you find most fascinating? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss another video from Star 5. Thanks for watching.